Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Quick look here at Gala. Quick update, honestly, from our weekend analysis. And when we talked about it previously, it was showing signs of slowing down. Now it's starting to pick back up with some higher highs and higher lows. But we do got to recognize there is potential for a pullback now that we've kind of topped out here so far. Tentatively at that 2.8 mark I mentioned was an important level to pay attention to. Once again, previous liquidity levels have been swept, and we're in a situation now where a pullback would make a little more sense. But again, we're going to look at a few other things too, because we don't just go surface value and go from there, right? We want to look a little deeper. Quick deep dive here, just so you know, we took some nice healthy profits from Gala. As a matter of fact, 190% from our long trade from before, hit all profit targets there. Same thing with Terra Classic, 108%, Uniswap, 26% shorts, and KNC, 30% long. Okay, so again, awesome stuff there. Very, very cool. Love to see all this here, and be happy to explain that, I guess, if you want to consider jumping on over to our Discord, Telegram, Twitter. But really just look at some of our previous videos and you'll understand why I've been kind of long-term biased on this coin and the fact that it should continue higher, but it would also make sense for it to pull back first, right? Yeah, again, I like to kind of buy those dips if possible, try not to catch it when it's running, but it could very well be running now with all this volume we see here in the last 8 hours. So let's talk about that. Okay. So daily time frame does speculate we could see a pullback down to basically 2.4, 2.2. Am I subscribing to this yet? Not quite exactly. Now that we've broken through this resistance, closed above it firmly, I think that's a lot less likely. I do think a pullback to this fib level here, about 0.382, 0.5, could very well be realistic. But I think between now and then, we got to wait and see. We are ascending concurrent with the 20-day SMA. Not a lot of coins can do this, or can say they have done that. Right now also, the RSI is looking good. We kind of got that bounce close to 50, but the money flow index is flowing back in this coin. As I mentioned before, more money in the coin, more likelihood of the price action continuing. Okay, so again, that's a really, really good sign here. We've also got a MACD convergence on the daily, which is a super, super strong type of indication, letting us know that we're truly bullish. Okay. Keep in mind, we're only about 3 days into this potential of 9-day continuation, so we got roughly 6 days left before it might turn back around. Pay attention to doji candles, though. Those happen to be potential reversal indications, but still really too early to tell. 4-hour time frame is going to give us a little bit more information. That's my favorite time frame. If you watch me for any bit of time, you'll understand that this is my favorite. Also, regarding the RSI, because I got this question a lot. When money flow is low and the RSI is high, what does that mean? Well, that implies that there's a separation, so to speak, where it's somewhat of a bullish divergence. So in this case here, having the RSI above 50 and the money flow being still low is actually a good sign, considering the fact that the price action should continue higher. Now, it's not a good sign in overall sense because you want to see more volume, but it implies that we have somewhat of a support level and that the bears are probably nowhere to be seen right now. Okay. So keep in mind, they did try to sell off really hard yesterday, which they did. They came back down to the support at 2.6, and the price has since rallied back. Okay, so that does reaffirm 2.6 as a solid support, and the likelihood of it breaking below that is lower, especially considering we've spent for the last, 16 to 20 hours above that level. Okay, it's a very, very good sign. So again, all this stuff here combined looks fairly bullish. I would like to see more volume, but again, the money flow index is kind of a funny thing where it's not like it doesn't take, it averages out the last 14 candles. It doesn't just take this most recent candle wick and explain that, oh, we have a ton of volume just now. It's starting to, it's a slow moving average, if you will, okay? And that's why it's beneficial, because it kind of looks the last 2.5 days, and lets us know roughly in the last couple of days, we've seen a pretty significant increase in volume than we had the previous 2.5 days, okay? That's kind of what I like to look for. So I think long story short here is that the 4-hour time frame looks pretty strong. We have more likelihood to increase. Again, if the price pulls back, these are the levels to focus on as potential entries for longs. Because again, when you see this previous high here, these are all candlestick closures. The price had a very difficult time passing 2.6. Now they're above that level. I think these levels are a lot less likely, but if they were to occur, it would be advantageous to consider getting in one of those levels. Just a thought, okay? Again, just some dollar cost average targets for you, because I get that question a lot. You know, what's a good range for something like this here? Last thing we want to look at here would be the hourly, which is the Ichimoku Cloud. I typically like to look at TD sequential first. We're getting a lot of little resets here. There's really no specific rhyme or reason, but the key takeaway is that we are establishing higher lows and higher highs, so we're starting to work ourselves into a bit of a channel, which is oftentimes a good sign at this point. But just keep in mind, depending on the type of channel, could be disadvantageous. But what I'm thinking here is at this point we are looking at a pretty significant ascending channel, and these are much more notorious for breaking to the upside. Okay, so we could very well see the price continue higher from there. Okay, I think we have more statistical probability of the price going up than down at this point. Especially so, we are above the cloud. Conversion lines above the baseline. We got decent momentum. Lagging span is not free and clear. We'd love to see that little more open. In other words, if the price can kind of break up here in the near future, then we'd be good to shape there, and we'd be able to consider a long position a little more comfortably. At this point, though, still majority of signs point up. And as per usual, you know, good analyst will essentially look for reasons not to take a trade. We haven't found too many. Okay? That leads me to believe that a long position is more viable than a short at this given time. And I would highly recommend being careful shorting this coin. It is fairly range bound within, you know, the range about 2.6 to upwards about 2.8. So, you know, deal with that what you will. There are a lot of range bound traders out there, but at this point, I'm happy with our profits. I'm not upset at all, and I'm glad that it's all working out very well for our community. So thanks again for the wonderful feedback. Appreciate that. Do me a favor, like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and jump on over to our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. We got a cool group there as well, where we all learn and grow together. It's a phenomenal experience. Some really good traders over here too. So keep up the good work, everyone. Looking forward to work with you. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you.